I am Tomoyuki Azuma of NTT Data ServiceNow Business Section. My presentation is entitled Hyper-Automation and its Case Studies, Technology that Transforms Corporate Management. I will cover the concept and the building blocks of hyper-automation, which is a technology that automates and optimizes business operations and processes, and share some case studies with you. This session consists of two parts. First, I will discuss the concept of hyper-automation and its application at NTT Data. Then after, Dr. Reike Meyer of Celonis will explain about process mining solution, which is one of the core technologies of hyper-automation. He will refer to notable use cases in Europe as well. Celonis, a leading company in the field of process mining, has numerous advanced use cases, especially in Europe. Dr. Reike Meyer will explain in detail about the Celonis technology and how it has been used in various companies to achieve results. Firstly, about hyper-automation. Hyper-automation is a concept coined by Gartner to denote cross-business processes automation. We define hyper-automation to encompass not only the technologies, but also the organization that controls those technologies. Specifically, hyper-automation requires two components. Firstly, the hyper-automation platform that is comprised of technologies to visualize and automate various areas of a business, starting from the customer experience domain to internal business domains such as manufacturing and administrative processes. Secondly, COE organization that manages the platform to lead a company's business transformation to a success. Digital Twin Office is defined as a concept that embraces both of them. To make automation a continuous endeavor rather than a one-off business improvement, and simply familiarizing oneself with the technologies and using them are not suffice. It is important to develop talents who can actively utilize the technologies and to create an organizational culture that proactively pursues business process transformation. In nurturing such an organizational culture, it is difficult to build consensus with qualitative information. So we place more emphasis on data-based decision-making. To improve business processes, visualization based on data is critical. Digital Twin Office is a state in which the visualization of operations and business processes is maximized. Digital Twin is a concept of realizing a virtual reality equivalent to the real world in the digital world. VAR, which became famous during the World Soccer Tournament, can be considered a form of digital twin. One of our hyper-automation offerings is a consulting service called Process-Oriented Data-Driven Management. To build a digital twin, we utilize Celonis process mining solution, which has the largest footprint in the world. Celonis has excellent connectivity to various data sources accumulated in the company, and we believe it is a superb solution for visualizing operations and business processes. This slide shows the technology building blocks of hyper-automation in detail. Celonis, a process mining solution, is used to collect and visualize data. Business management decisions on operational and business process transformation must be based on data. The collection and visualization of needed data are handled by Celonis process mining technology. Once the decision to transform business processes is made, those changes must be implemented, which requires a business management platform such as ServiceNow, Salesforce, SAP, or Oracle. If connections to core systems or interconnections of those systems are required, iPaaS or integration paths will be needed. In this diagram, Workato is named as an iPaaS solution. Let's look at some specific use cases. In this example, we use Celonis to evaluate the validity of the improvement of NTT Data's internal approval circulation process. Initially, the circulation route for internal approval requests was complicated and it hindered productivity improvement. Therefore, BPR was implemented about 2 years ago to simplify the circulation route and reduce the number of circulators. However, we were not able to objectively evaluate the effectiveness of the BPR. Therefore, we implemented Celonis and succeeded in visualizing the circulation process and quantitatively measuring the effectiveness of the BPR. The effectiveness performance of the BPR was confirmed, but we also discovered a new problem, a high rate of returns. This discovery led to further improvement measures.
実際に可視化するとこの
The
ようになり
actual
ます。
visualization looks
回
like
覧プロ
this.
セスを
You
平
can
均
see the request
回覧者
circulation
数、
process
平
is
均所要時間とい
visualized
った
in
順で
terms
可
of
視
the
化している
average
ことが
number
わ
of
かります。
approvals and the average
こ
time
うした定量
required.
データに基づい
Based
て
on this
業務
quantitative
改善
data,
の効果を
we are
客
able
観的
to
に確認することが
objectively
できます
confirm the improvement.
例えば
For
平均回覧者
example,
数が
number
減
of
少し
approvals
平均所要
decreased
時間
and
も
the time
BPR 前
required
後で
also
右肩下がりに
declined
なってい
around
る
the
ので
BPR,
BPR の効果が
proving
あったと
the
評価することがで
effect.
きます。一方で業
On
務
the
プロ
other
セス全
hand,
体を俯瞰した
the
ものが
figure
右
on
側
the
の図に
right
なり
is
ま
a
す。
bird's eye view of
こ
the
れを見る
entire
と
business
差し戻し
process
率が
which
高いこ
shows
とがわ
that
かります。
high rate of
プ
rejection.
ロセスマイニングを活用
By
することで
utilizing the
このよう
process
に
mining,
改
we
善
can
状
not
況の
only
確
check
認
the
だけでなく
improvement,
さらなる
but
問
also
題点の把握
identify
ができ
additional
継続
problems
的
which
な
can
業務
lead
改
to
善
a
につながりや
continuous
すくなります。
business improvement.
現実世界をこのよう
We
にデータ
believe
に基
it
づ
is
き
important
多
to
面的に
analyze
分
the
析
real
し
world from
業務の
multiple
視点で改善
perspectives
施
based
策
on
を
the
考えてい
data
くこと
like
が
this
重要だと考
and
え
to
ています。
consider improvement measures.
次は
Next,
今後ハイパーオートメーションの適用が
let's
有
look
望だ
at
と
the
考え
use
ている
case of
製造業領
manufacturing
域に関す
domain,
る
which
ユー
is
ス
a
ケースを見ていき
promising
たいと思い
area
ます。
for hyper-automation in the future.
セロニスにデータを
In order
データ
to
を収
collect
集
the
する
data
ため
in
にも
Celonis,
業務プロセ
the
スが
business
デジタル
processes
化
have
され
to
てい
be
なければデー
digitized.
タを集めることができません。手作業中心の業
However,
務がま
still
だ多く残っ
companies
て
have
おり
many manual
改善のためのインプッ
operations
トとな
which
るデータを
hinders
収集できない
input
と
data
いう課題
collection
は
for
多くの
improvement.
企業で見られると思います。そこで
In
アナログ
order
な
to
アナログな
solve
業
this
務をいか
problem,
に自動化して
it
デ
is
ジタル化する
important to
か
first
という
digitize the
業務
business
のデジタ
process
ル化が
by
まず大切に
automating
なります
analog operations.
デジタル化がされれば
Once
セロニスのよう
digitized,
なソリュ
a
ーションで
solution such as
簡単にデ
Celonis
ータ
can
収集
easily
可視化がで
collect
き
and
改
visualize
善ポイントを
data
発
and
見できるの
identify
で
points
継
for
続的な業務改
improvement,
善サイクル
making
が
it easier to
確立し
establish
や
a
すくなります
continuous business improvement
ここで
cycle.
示す事例は
The
まだセロニ
example
スを
shown
導入してい
here
ない
is
事例ですが
without
原料調
Celonis
達から製品出荷
implementation,
ま
but
で
a
の
series
一
of
連のプロ
processes
セス
from
がす
raw
でにデジタ
material
ル化されていま
procurement
す
to product shipment
これに対
have
してさら
already
にプロ
been
セス全体の
digitized.
可視化と
We believe
最適化
that
のため
by
に
introducing
セロニスを導
Celonis
入する
to
ことで
further
データ
visualize
に
and
基づく業務
optimize
プロ
the
セスの
entire
最適化を
process,
実
we'll
現
be
できるよ
able
うに
to
なると考
achieve
えています
data-driven optimization of
このよう
business
に
processes.
一連の業務プロセ
Thus,
スがすで
if
に
the
デジタル
business
化されてい
processes
る
are
領域
already
ではさら
digitized,
なる
we
最適化の
believe
ため
that
に
hyper-automation
ための
for
ハイパーオートメーションが実現
further
しやすいと考えています
optimization is easy to
逆に
achieve.
一連の業務プロセスがまだデジタル化されてい
Conversely,
ない場合は
if the business
まず
processes have yet
まず
been
はデジタル
digitized,
化をすること
it'd
で
be easier
ハイ
to
パーオートメ
digitize
ハイ
them
パーオート
first,
メーションへ
then
と発展
pursue
しやすくな
on
るとも言えると思いま
hyper-automation.
す業務のデジタル化を
A
実現する
solution
ソ
for
リューションとしては
digitizing
先ほど
operation
ハイ
and
パーオー
business
トメーションの構
processes,
成要
business
素で説明
management
した
platforms
サービ
such
ス
as
ナウや
ServiceNow,
Salesforce、SAP、
Salesforce,
オラクルなど
SAP,
の業務管理プラットフォ
Oracle,
ーム
as
が重要
explained
であります
earlier in the components of hyper-automation, are important.
プロセス思考データドリブン経営は
We
サステナビ
believe
リティ
that
経営においても重
process-oriented
要な役割を果たす
data-driven
と我々は
management
考え
also
ます
plays an important role
もと
in
もと効
sustainability
率性を表
management.
す指標として
Originally,
プロ
as
セ
an
スの実行
indicator
時
of
間を
efficiency,
使
the
って
basic
可視
use
化
of
すること
process
がプロ
mining
セス
was
マイ
to
ニングの基
visualize
本
the
的な使わ
process
れ方でしたが
execution time.
定量化されるデータは
However, there are
時
many
間
other
以外にも
quantified
二酸化炭
indicators
素排
such
出
as
量やリスク
CO2
値など
emissions,
さまざまな
risk
指標が考えられま
values,
す
and so on.
業務プロセスを時
By
間軸以外の
quantifying
データ
in
で定量
operations
化
and
し
business
プロセス
processes
全体
with
を俯瞰す
data
るこ
other
と
than
で
time-based data,
サス
we
テナ
can
ビリティ
gain
経営
a
における
bird's eye
課題
view
発
of the
見や
entire
改善
process,
施
which
策
is
立案に
useful
役
for
立てることができる
identifying
と考えてい
issues
ます
and planning improvement
セロ
measures
ニ
in
スを活用し
sustainability
たサス
management.
テナビリティ経
There
営
are
に関する
several
応用事例に
examples
つい
of
ては
Celonis
ヨーロッパでは
application
いくつ
for
か事例が出てきてい
sustainability
るようですが
management in
今
Europe,
後こうした事例
and
も増
we
えてくるので
expect
は
to
ないかと
see
考
more
えています
in the future.
ここまで事例を
So
通じて
far,
ハイパ
we
ーオートメー
looked
ション
at
プロセス思
what
考データドリブン
hyper-automation
経
and
営
the
がどのようなもので
process-oriented
どのような
data-driven
効果をもたら
management
すの
are
か
and
を見
what
てきま
kind
し
of
た
effect they can have
ここから
through
は
case
実際
studies.
に効果を出すため
From
には
here,
いかに
I'd
最
like
新の
to
テクノロジー
explain
を活
how
用するための
important
組
it
織
is
分
to
割作り
create
が
an
大切かを説明
organizational
したいと思い
culture
ます
to take advantage of the latest technologies in order to achieve the real result. As I mentioned at the beginning, hyper-automation is ongoing cross-sectional process and is not a one-time event. In order to make this continuous process take root in a corporate organization, the COE, the change execution organization within the company, will be important. Once the fundamental solution with data utilization such as Celonis is implemented, it is important to run the continuous PDCA cycle to utilize the data. To this end, the key to success lies in creating the systems and rules and fostering the mindset to take advantage of new technologies within the companies. In order to prevent uncontrolled technology use, solid governance is necessary, and human resource development for technical competence is also indispensable. We also need to create a highly adaptive organization for change. We'd like to provide consulting services that include not only the advanced solutions such as Celonis, but also the creation of organizational structure, such as COE. NTT Data defines and provides a methodology for technology implementation consulting services. We support our clients from POC phase and assist clients in setting up COE mentioned earlier for full-scale deployment. In the following presentation, Dr. Reikemeyer will present a case study of an actual transformation program and the importance of creating the organizational structure for technology utilization. So, Dr. Reikemeyer, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Asuma-san, and it's my great pleasure and honor to share some of my experiences at your innovation conference. Allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Lars Reikemeyer, and I've been working more than 20 years with Siemens AG before I joined Celonis in 2021. I came at Siemens across Celonis 2014 when I was in charge of business intelligence and started working with Celonis, ramped up a center of excellence, which grew to 40 people and supported an active community of 6,000 active users, which are even grown by now across the global Siemens organization. In 2020, I published a book, Process Mining in Action, which is also available in Japanese. And today I take pride in sharing my experiences as the Celonis Customer Transformation Advisor. Now, today I would like to talk about three key messages. First of all, how Celonis can support organizational transformation with hyperautomation and with our execution management system. Second, I would like to talk about the Siemens transformational journey and how Siemens has taken advantage of Celonis. And third, I would like to talk about the importance of Center of Excellence for transformation. Let's start with the first part, brief introduction of Celonis. Celonis today has been ranked by analysts as the #1 company in process mining execution management. So Gartner, IDC, other analysts have ranked us as the market leader in this domain. We take pride in a 70% year-on-year revenue growth and counting more than 1,300 enterprise customers as our customers. Many of those customers with the largest brands and companies around the world and across all industries and all verticals around the world. Now, the way we approach and the unique part about Celonis is that we start typically with looking at how the process is designed, and then there's a belief where people say, okay, this is my design process and this is how my process probably runs. This is where companies start. Now, Celonis, as a unique point here, allows you to see the full reality, the full complexity, the full challenges which you have in your processes as those processes are happening. And this is the starting point with Celonis to provide a complex X-ray or MRI, which allows you to understand how your business is actually happening today. And with that, what we are doing is that we provide a 360-degree view of your business execution. So we allow you to give a brain to the processes by understanding the way processes are going, by understanding where processes are going in a way they should not be happening, and then empower your people to improve performance, to apply automation, to drive hyper-automation. And that is the fundamental principle, how Celonis does contribute to process transformation and process efficiency. Let's make it more specific. And let's have a look how Siemens has taken advantage of this Celonis approach. At Siemens, we started our transformational journey back in 2014, when we made first usage of Celonis to discover actual processes. And this typically is the first step. turn the light on processes in the sense of applying an X-ray, which allows the organization to understand how the processes are actually happening, to achieve global transparency and start a database discussion. Typically at Siemens, I experience myself, there's a lot of belief where people say, well, I designed my process and I believe I know how my process goes. But what Celonis allows you here is to achieve a full database transparency on actual process complexity, and also to understand root causes, why processes are not the way they should be. And that was the first part at the Celonis journey with Siemens here, to get that kind of transparency. And then the second part of the Siemens journey, we started with intelligent process execution in the sense of supporting the people with proactive alerting, with intelligence of the system, to alert them, saying, here's something going wrong in your process. Here's something which you can do better. Here's something where intelligent automation and hyperautomation can help you to drive your processes in a more efficient manner. So at Siemens, we had a journey from understanding processes toward improving processes with hyperautomation and with organizational transformation. And this has been applied at Siemens in a multitude of different departments. So for example, in procurement, we looked into lots of use cases like duplicate payments, lost discounts, and many more. Today, there's more than 800 people in Siemens procurement using Celonis, for example, now for predicting late payments and proactively improving automation with procurement processes. The same applies for order management, order to cash, where we started 2014 looking into the way how customer orders are processed and then continuously improving that process. And here one key message and key learning is that Celonis execution management is not a once-off approach to understand and improve processes, but it is a continuous journey where at Siemens there is continuous value by using Celonis for more and more advanced use cases. And those two samples are just two of many. So across Siemens, across the whole value chain, Celonis is being used today with more than 6,000 active users for more than 500 processes. And the journey goes on with artificial intelligence, intelligent apps, and many more innovations which are continuously developed by Celonis. Let's have a look at a specific case here, how Celonis has been applied. Let's take the sample of order to cash. So the process where Siemens looks at the customer order entry till cash collection, and a very similar process as any company would have that around the world. At Siemens, we looked into 30 million items ordered per year. We looked into those items processed across more than 60 process steps and across more than 40 different transactional systems, typically SAP systems. And in the classical approach of process modeling, you would assume that those customer orders are processed in a very standardized manner. And as I said before, this is the way how people assume processes are happening in the organization. And the first amazing surprise comes when you look at the reality. When with Celonis, you discover the full complexity of how processes are actually happening. Now, in the Siemens case here, we found out that there are more than 300 million single activities per year and more than 900,000 process variants to process those customer orders. And this is nothing which is unique to Siemens. I have seen customers which have more than 1 million process variants to process customer orders through the organization. So this is something which we find very, very often with our customers, that the actual way how things are going through the organization are far more complex than people assume. And here we start our Celonis value proposition that first we have that kind of transparency, allow this transparency to understand, to turn on the light, to start a fact-based discussion about how processes are actually happening. Now, the interesting question is, from that insight, how do you derive action? How do you derive value from that insight? And let me show you what we've done at Siemens here. So at Siemens, we engaged our CFO as a sponsor to give a clear direction to the organization. And the direction of the CFO was that he instructed the organization to digitize the way how customer orders are processed around the world. A very simple, clear direction, which again is applicable to any company on the organization around the world. And we supported the CFO with 3 simple KPIs. First, the digital fit rate, which is the rate, how many manual touches does an entity have per customer order. Second, the automation rate. And third, the rework rate, how much rework is required to process customer orders. And with those 3 KPIs, the CFO incentivized the regional management. So the local country managers all got a baseline saying where do they stand at the beginning in respect of manual touches, in respect of automation, in respect of rework. And then they were given a target saying it's good that you only have 1 touch per customer order on average, but by end of this year, I want you to go down to 0.5 touches per order per year. And that was basically the clear incentive to the regional managers. And the operational people got an action view where they could see which customers are causing a lot of effort. So those 800 people working operational with Celonis could see which are the customers who are causing lots of manual effort. And with this setup and with the transparency provided by Celonis, we have achieved significant improvement, and we're showcased at Gartner with 24% increase in automation, 11% reduction in rework, and 10 million fewer manual touches. So the whole principle here, applying Celonis to enable the organization to understand processes, to have a target how to improve processes, and measurably to measure improvement around the world and drive hyper-automation by applying then automation tools as appropriate. With that, let me come to my third part, which is so important, how to apply centers of excellence and some best practices of center of excellence. What we are seeing across our customers is that COEs play a crucial role. Currently, we have more than 300 customers with the Center of Excellence in place. We have more than 80 customers with the Center of Excellence, which has allowed this organization to realize more than $1 million of measured value. And we have 30 customers which have a what we call Cello COE Champions League COE in place, a COE which fulfills certain criteria, like, for example, having realized more than $10 million of value and having certain numbers of processes and active users. And you can see here many global brands, big brands, large brands, which are taking advantage of Celonis with a powerful COE to drive hyper-automation and transformation. And I'm very keen with the support of NTT Data to have the first Japanese company joining this exclusive Cello COE Champions League soon. Now, a center of excellence in our perspective here is not a team of technical people waiting for somebody to call them. But we see centers of excellence as accelerators for change. So what we are seeing across our customers is that the most powerful center of excellence act on 3 levels. First of all, as a catalyst to engage the sponsor. So to engage, like in the Siemens case, a CFO with a clear purpose to drive digitization and order management, to make it measurable with specific KPIs, and then support the CFO and the direct reports to achieve that target. Second role of a COE is to act as an evangelist. So to share and spread the concept of execution management, hyper-automation, transformation. And here we have, for example, a COE lead at the German company Bayer, who as an evangelist has had more than 400 internal educational sessions in his organization to establish a community, share best practice, and to inspire his own organization. And the third role of a Center of Excellence is the role of an enabler. So to drive the technical implementation, manage access, data protection, and to operate the Celonis platform. Now, in May last year, we conducted a survey where more than 200 of our customers gave us feedback about Center of Excellence. And interestingly here, the feedback was that COEs are very important, and that customers with a COE are almost 9 times more likely to achieve a quick return on investment than customers who have not established a Center of Excellence. Second message is what are the key success factors? And here our customers gave us feedback that the number one key success factor is an engaged executive sponsor. Number 2 is a strong team. And then also we learned lots of things about how to ramp up a COE. And this survey is obviously available to you via NTT Data, and we'd be more than happy to go into some more details individually. Now, the success factors beyond the strong executive sponsor is setting up a team, and typically here jointly with NTT Data, we're happy to advise you how to build such a team, with which roles and responsibilities, how to set up the right organizational structure here, where we have many best practice examples, and how to build an operating model which is geared to scale big in your organization and allow you to generate significant value and adoption. Also, what we've seen across our customers is different setups of Center of Excellence. And typically, we are seeing that companies start with a decentralized or business unit managed approach. But then many of our customers, and about 1/3, have set up a hybrid and federated COE with a strong central unit and then some spokes which are in the respective business entities and driving the hyper-automation approach. And 2/3 of our customers have a centralized COE, like I have had that myself at Siemens, with a COE with 40 people supporting a strong global community around the world. In respect to the organizational setup, there are different types. Typically, we can see many of our customers having a strong COE in a central or corporate IT department, like I myself have had that at Siemens Corporate IT or in ExxonMobil, Dell Technologies, BMW. Then many companies, many customers are using Celonis COEs in the shared services. And you can also see various different entities where the COEs in different functions. And again, this is very important to apply to your individual structure, and where NTT Data and ourselves are more than happy to support you to set up the Celonis COE to gear for bold growth and strong impact. And also what we are more than happy to advise you on is how to ramp up your individual COE in several steps there. So this is a template which we typically use to discuss about planning a COE, establishing a COE, scaling a COE, then having a company-wide COE, all focused on a certain value plan, and based on that, defining on how many people you ramp up, what are the roles to be ramped up, and where Entity Data or Celonis can help you to ramp up your COE and gear it for success. With that, let me thank you very much for the opportunity to share some of my Siemens experiences, share a bit about the Celonis, and also the importance of COE. And I'm very much looking forward to working with you in the future. Thank you very much and have a great day.